Hello and welcome to the Faith Report, bringing you your daily videos on those Christian news bites you won't find in mainstream media. The UK government has proposed a new media bill that's making its way through Parliament. This legislation has some good elements, like holding social media companies more accountable, but it also contains some concerning changes when it comes to religious broadcasting. Specifically, the bill removes previous requirements for major public broadcasters to include a minimum level of religious programming. Up until now, channels like the BBC have been obligated to air content dealing with religion and other beliefs, but this new law would simply require an appropriate range of genre, without any specificity. Advocates explain this gives networks more flexibility, but faith groups argue it's a slippery slope. They point out how religious broadcasting has already declined sharply in recent years. According to Ofcom, the amount of faith-related content on the BBC, Channel 4, ITV and Channel 5 decreased by 45% between 2013 and 2022. By last year, most weren't airing any substantial ethical or spiritual programming at all, so critics say that this bill essentially just reflects what's already happening. The continuing marginalization of religion as Western society becomes more secular. It also means vital subject matters like ethics, philosophy and what it means to be human risk being neglected in the media landscape. Now, the context here is important. Religion has certainly been misused through history as a force for oppression, tribalism and violence. Skepticism towards faith is understandable given the errors of corrupt institutions. However, the answer isn't to erase religion from the public square altogether. There's a huge difference between critically engaging ideas versus censoring them. What we need is honest, thoughtful dialogue and representation of diverse worldviews. And public broadcasters have a unique role to play here. Unlike commercial networks, their duty isn't to just turn a profit, but also to inform citizens and foster mutual understanding. And this is exactly why the Stanford St. Martin Trust has launched a campaign called #BeliefMatters to advocate for keeping faith programming protected under the law. They argue ignoring religion leaves a gaping hole in quality broadcasting, given its enormous influence on human events and experience. The Trust has given prestigious awards honouring excellence in religious media since 1978. The winners have tackled complex subjects like forgiveness, grief and ethical dilemmas in many thoughtful ways. This thoughtful engagement remains sorely needed today. Recent global events underscore the importance of religious literacy across difference. And studies show that lack of contact with people from other faiths correlates with more prejudice. Media exposure done correctly provides that contact. So what's next? The bill still needs final approval from the House of Lords and Royal Assent. Supporters of faith programming plan to keep making their voices heard through the legislative process. They call on anyone who cares about religious literacy and dialogue to sign the #BeliefMatters petition or contact their MP. As Christians, I think this issue should matter to us, not because we want to control media, but because we care about healthy pluralism in society. Having reasonable religious perspectives represented on major networks benefits all citizens regardless of their personal beliefs. And it sets an important precedent that all voices have value in the public forum. The road ahead may be difficult, but we have an opportunity to model grace, excellence and wisdom in how we engage culture. You're up to date and as always, keep the faith and by God's grace I will see you tomorrow.